Hi there, this is Craig back from StopDrinkingExpert.com. Today's video will be quite a short one, I think. Of course, there's always the odd chance I'll just ramble on, but the intention is it will be short because it's really just, it's designed to give some reassurance that you're not on your own. You're not the only one feeling like this for today's topic. I got an email from Michelle this morning. And I think she was probably a little bit nervous about emailing it. Equally, I'm as nervous about making the video because I think there is a chance that a good percentage of the people who see this video will think that we're being conceited and egotistical. And some people this will really resonate with, and some people will think that we're just being a little bit too big for our boots. And I get that because, as I'm kind of stumbling around this subject, even I'm hesitating to talk about it. Now, what Michelle said is she thinks she's using alcohol to dumb herself down so that she can fit in more socially with normal, everyday people. Michelle has said, look, I'm a highly intelligent woman, got a very active mind, and I just find that general everyday conversation is not that entertaining, and I just use alcohol to bring me down to the intellectual level of the conversation around me. And you can see why she's nervous about bringing this subject up, because it is a bit like saying, well, I'm just far too intelligent to hang around with you lot. But listen, Michelle, I get it totally. And as I have said in the course at StopDrinkingExpert.com, over my years of helping people to quit drinking, I have never met anyone where I've just thought, well, you're just stupid. That's why you're doing this, you're stupid. Actually, what I have found is that the vast majority of people with a drinking problem are highly intelligent, highly successful, very, functioning in society. I've coached people earning $1 million a year, $1 million a month. I've coached people infinitely more successful than I am, and yet they still have this problem. The other thing I've noticed about drinkers generally that I deal with is they're introverts. They have a very powerful brain. They have a lot of internal dialogue going on, and they're thinking about a lot of stuff a lot of the time. They tend to be worriers. Now, this is a curse and a blessing at the same time, because it means you have the power to create in life. You have the power to make something amazing, to bring your dreams into reality. But it's scary and it's stressful because you have this extremely powerful brain working all the time. And sometimes, I get it, you just want it to stop. You just want a break. Do you ever think, wouldn't it be beautiful to be really stupid? I know that sounds crazy, doesn't it? But sometimes I think, wouldn't it be amazing just to be, to have no other care in the world apart from what you're going to have for dinner, what you're going to eat tonight. That's all you care about, and life, whatever. You never think about anything else. What beautiful peace that must be. But obviously, I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to damage myself mentally so that I could only ever operate on that basic level. But everything in life is a balance. You get the curse and you get the blessing. So you're not on your own, Michelle. You're not the only person who feels like they're drinking to dumb themselves down. It's something that I suffer with myself, and that I'm not very good with small talk and chitter chatter, the sort of stuff that you might talk about in a bar with a stranger. I find it quite irritating, and I have a very low tolerance for it. And I used to use alcohol so I could join in with that level of banter. And it's still a problem for me today because I live in Cyprus, which is a Mediterranean island. There are a lot of expats here. And I know I'm stereotyping here, but if I walk into a expat bar in Cyprus and get talking to a guy, a stranger, the opening gambit will probably be about football. He will probably say, "So, did you see the match last night?" And I always have to say, no, I don't like football. And immediately I've broken rapport. Immediately the guy's saying, you don't like football? So what I'm looking for personally is interesting conversation with interesting people who have stories to tell. Deep thinkers, people who say something and I think, wow, yeah, I never thought of that. Wow, that's amazing. But trying to find that is like finding rocking horse poo. Very rare. So how do you deal with it, Michelle? If you have got this fantastically powerful brain and you want to have a higher experience in this world, you don't want to talk about sitcoms or soap operas or do you see the football match last night? If that's not your thing, let me ask you a question. Do you think you should be lowering your standards to their level, or do you think you should be keeping your standards high? You know the answer, and so do I. Those environments where you've traditionally gone for entertainment are perhaps no longer applicable. And this is the reason I don't go to expat bars, because I know what I'm going to find there. And it's not the sort of conversation I want, or that fulfills me, or that I will find enjoyable, or that I will be able to tolerate. And so you have to look elsewhere. Because, as you know, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting the outcome to change. So you need to go to different places and do different things. Let me give you an example of some of the things I have done in this quest to find like-minded, sober friends. Toastmasters International is an organization around the world where people get together a couple of times a month, and it's designed to help people become better public speakers. Now, I don't go for that reason. I go because it's a room full of people looking to communicate on a more advanced level. So Toastmasters is a great place to go to meet friends. That's not all centered around drinking. That's not all centered about small talk and what happened on TV last night. There are kind of websites now. There's one called Internations where you can meet expats, but they're from all over the world. So you get to meet fascinating people who come from different backgrounds. And that to me, that is interesting. Meeting people who come from a different part of the world with a different story to tell, I find that fascinating and interesting. So, Michelle, there's nothing wrong with you. And thank you so much for emailing and bringing it up, because I know it's a difficult subject to talk about. And if anyone is watching thinking, well, what a bunch of conceited, really, honestly, I'm just trying to articulate how some introverted drinkers feel. So no offense intended. Especially if you're that bloke down the bar going, oh, you see the match last night? I'll let you know, I will never have seen the match. So you never have to say that to me again, okay? Right, look, thank you for watching. I'm going to leave the video there. If you have any questions, please check out the website, www.stopdrinkingexpert.com. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Spread the word. Let's get this message out there. And I will see you in the next video.